Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I am Dana Wilson, your hair advocate. And today's topic is the three questions you want to ask your clients before you establish a whole full head of locks. So we'll get into it in a few minutes. I see you guys soon. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am Dana Wilson, the CEO and Director of Hair Cares Inc. And look, this six-part series that I started, this is the third one, right? So a couple of weeks ago, is sponsored by my upcoming class, which is called Tricho Essential for Locks. So, look, I designed this series and this class with the natural hairstylist, the loctician, the sister lock consultant in mind, right? Because I too, I am obviously I am a loctician, right? And so I did not. Hey, who's there? Let me see who's there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining me. So I designed this series and this class with the natural hair professional practitioner in mind. So this class is all about if you're an individual that want to level up your knowledge base on hair loss so that you can in turn maintain clientele that have healthy scalp and healthy hair. That's what this class is all about. In the class, you're going to learn how to identify different kinds of hair loss, learn the do's and don'ts to preventing hair loss, and then some protocols and practices that will support your clientele. And like I was trying to share before, I am a loctician. So, and I'm not a cosmetologist. I'm many things, but I'm not a cosmetologist. And so I say that because you don't have to be a cosmetologist to be a hair advocate, meaning somebody that want to maintain a clientele with healthy hair and healthy scalp. And I'm your girl. I want to help you do that. So today's topic is what's today? Oh my God. The time is going by so fast. But today's topic is the three questions that you want to ask your client before you establish locks. Like we need to know what's going on with the person before we start establishing all these locks in their head, especially if they're experiencing some kind of scalp disorder or hair loss. We need to know about this from the beginning because it will impact how you move forward with establishing the locks, or even if you do move forward. So look, The first question is, how long have you experienced this issue? So that's what you want to ask the client. If you see when they come in for their consultation that they have issues around their hairline, or even say they have a flaky scalp or something, you want to ask them, how long have you experienced this? Is this something that happened yesterday? Is this all of a sudden? Have you experienced this over or have you been experiencing this over time? Because that makes a difference. We need to know if we're dealing with something temporary or if we're dealing with something permanent. And I would like to think, as a practitioner, you would want to know this because that will determine how you're going to establish the locks. If you should expect new hair growth in a particular area, or if or this is exactly how it's going to be. Okay, so you want to ask, how long have you experienced this issue? That is important. Hey, Nivea. Hi, Kai. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I so appreciate you guys' support. I really do. Who else is it? Is there anybody else in the room? Anybody else joining? Are you a natural hair practitioner? Are you a what are you? Are you a trichologist? Are you a sister lock consultant? Are you a loctician? Tell me who you are so I know who you guys are and who I'm speaking to. But like I said, that first question, you guys, how long have you experienced this issue? You want to know from your client, so because you want to know, look, how you gonna part this hair? How you gonna deal with this issue? Is the person always had flaky scalp? So is this something that we need to take care of before we even get started with establishing this hair? We need to know what's going on with the client. The second question, why do you believe this is occurring? You want to ask the client that. Why is that important? Because the client's mentality of why they think it occurred will dictate how they're dealing with their issue. If they believe, say for instance, the person come in and the hairline is gone, okay, and they believe it's occurring because their mother don't have a hairline, it's in they run in their family, right? So maybe they're not interested in doing anything about it because they believe this is why it occurred. Like they believe that there's nothing they can do to save it because it's in the cards for them. Or, for example, if the person has flaky scalp, they believe that their scalp is dry. Maybe now they oil their scalp all the time. This is something you need to know before you establish the locks because that means if they're going to be oiling their scalp, then the likelihood of the lock staying around in that area in the beginning is not that great. That means that they might come loose because they're oiling their scalp. You need to know the mentality of the client on why they think their issue is occurring so that then maybe you can give them some suggestions on how to handle it. But I would tell you this because if you're not a dermatologist or a trichologist, you don't really want to give them homemade remedies. Okay. You want to send them to a professional. So that goes to our last question, which is our last question here. And that is, are you seeing a professional? And the reason why that is important is because are you seeing a medical professional? Because you do not want to offer home remedies. Spray your hair with that. Hey, Delcina. Hey, girl. Thanks for joining me, Delcina. Um, you don't want to be offering homemade remedies or something that you heard on the internet outside of a professional. Um, because you might be counterproductive. You might be offering something counterproductive than what their medical professional has already advised them. Also, you want to know if they're seeing a professional, what is their protocol? What treatment plan did they get um, were given? Are they using medicated shampoo? Are they using some kind of sort of um, ointment or something like that? Because that's going to impact how the lock's going to establish, right? It's going to impact if the locks are going to be coming out. It's going to impact if they're going to be shampooing their hair very often. So you want to be in the know. You want to be in the know. Delcina, Delcina, who are you? Are you a natural hair professional? Delcina, are you? a cosmetologist. Tell the room who you are. So let me go back because I'm not going to take all your time. Okay. The first question was, how long have you experienced this issue? Why do we want to know how long they've had this issue? It's because we need to know if this is temporary or permanent. If it is permanent, then we're going to part the hair a certain way. If it's temporary, we can anticipate that the hair will grow back. The second question, why do you believe this is occurring? You want to know from the client why they think it's occurring, because depending on why they think it's occurring will determine how they are handling their hair and their scalp. And we need to know that. And then the third question was, are you seeing a medical professional? We want to know that because if we're looking at something that we can't figure it out or just don't pass the smell test for us, they need to go see a professional before they get their locks established. Or if they are, we don't want to offer anything counterproductive to what the professional is already have already prescribed to them. Okay, Delcina is a cosmetologist as well as a Sister Lock consultant. Thank you so much for joining me, Delcina. I appreciate it. Let's see. Good morning, Colleen. Thank you so much for joining me. So those are our 3 questions that you want to ask before you get started. Why do we want to ask these questions? Because we're about to establish a whole full head of locks. And I don't care what locking technique that you're using, you need to know this because this will impact how the locks will begin that process. If the person has a scalp issue or hair loss and they've been hair loss issue and they're being prescribed something, that means they're going to be manipulating their scalp and their hair, and that will impact how fast or slow the locking process will begin. Also, what kind of product are they using on the scalp? That's going to determine how fast or slow the locking process will go as well. So, look, like I said, this 3-part series is sponsored by my class. It's called Tricho Essential for Locks. And this class was designed with the natural hair practitioner in mind. And remember, I am a natural hair practitioner. So I'm a certified trichologist, a Sister Lock educator and consultant. I am a certified bioresearch assistant, a certified cold capper. I'm a veteran and a mother of a child that's on the autism spectrum. So I am not a cosmetologist. So I had to go out there and seek knowledge on hair loss and scalp disorders because obviously I did not go to school to learn those things. So I had to go out there and seek it. And I noticed that there's so many people obviously in the same situation. As a Sister Lock educator, we're training people who never dealt with hair, and so I want to make sure that you know what you're doing out there. At least be able to identify what's going on out there, so that you can know what to do for your clients. Where do you send them? Can you do something to help them, or do you want to send them out to see a professional prior to getting their Sister Locks? Or even if you're seeing something going on while you're servicing your client, you are the first line of defense for the client, because a lot of times they can't see behind their hair. They can't see what's going on. And typically with hair loss, you have lost at least 30% of your density before the naked eye can really say, hey, something's going on. Something is really going on here. So you are the first line of defense. And the only way for you to be a true defensive player, offensive player for your client is that you got to be able to identify what's going on. And that's where I come in. I can help you do that. So if you're interested in leveling up your knowledge base on hair loss and scalp disorders, sign up for my class, you guys. Let me pull up the website. You can go here, tricholocks.com, and sign up for my class. My first class will be July the 11th. And it's going to be via Zoom. So you could be anywhere and take the class. So let's just get started there. And then we'll work our way through if your mind and your heart wants to go further in learning more in depth about trichology, hair loss, and scalp disorders. So hopefully this helps somebody. Let me go through them one more time. How long have you experienced this issue? That's one question that you want to ask your client before establishing whole head of locks. The second question, why do you believe this is occurring? And then the third question, are you seeing a medical professional? We need to know these things before we get started with our clients. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it. Nivea said, I'm there. Nivea said, I'm there. She's going to sign up for the class. So I look forward to being with you guys on the July 11th. I will be back here next week. Oh, what is my topic for next week? I can't even remember what the topic is for next week. But I'll be back here same time, same place. On Monday at 10 a.m. is going to be another segment of it'll be part 4 of this 6-part series, Tricho Essentials for Locks. So hopefully you guys gain something from my sharing, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.